It's high noon in Stouffville and time for Stouffville Now, a twice-weekly journal of everything noteworthy from across the four corners of our vast region. Let Stouffville Now provide you with relevant facts and unique perspectives from the stories that are important to you. We're off on a fascinating journey, hearing from diverse guests and poignant commentators that flourish across the hills and boroughs of Whitchurch, Stouffville. Sit back, relax, and let us flip the pages for you. Here's Stouffville Now, your comprehensive noonday magazine.
And the series marches onward. We're so excited to have a ward councillor, Phil Bannon, in the studio this afternoon to discuss all of the happenings in Ballantrae, or Ward 2. Hi, Phil.
Hi, Sarah. I want to thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to come out and have this discussion with you and for the residents of Stouffville to get some sort of update and upbeat on what's happened in Ward 2, Ballantrae.
Now, well, thank you for being here, and because you're the councillor in particular, I know there's lots going on, so I'm looking forward to having this conversation with you.
And I am with you.
Thank you. So first we start each of these conversations by having you define the boundaries of Ward 2, just so people know.
The boundaries for Ward 2 are really not that clearly defined. At the north, we have Davis Drive. At the east, we have Durham 30. On the west, we have McCowan down to Van Dorp Side Road, and Van Dorp Side Road comes across to Highway 48. Then it goes south on Highway 48 to an imaginary line about a half a mile, 3/4 of a mile south, and then that imaginary line goes across to Durham 30. It's like I say, it's a line. It's not very clear for people, and it's not very clear on the map. But it's a large area. It's one of the largest in the town, and we have I think the second largest population in the town as well. It's a growing community, as you know. I think we're up in the area of 5,000 people now, so it's a growing concern.
Mind you, it's mostly residential. It's not an urban ward by any stretch of the imagination. It's
what I call an urban-rural community. Mm-hmm. When you look at where it's located, the growth up there, and the focus of the group, the focus of the growth is basically in the Highway 48 and Aurora corridor. We have a tremendous amount of luxury growth up there, luxury homes growth, and what we need to accommodate that is some sort of commercial growth to keep up with the population. What we have here is a lovely community. It's a community, as I say, I brag about it. It's what I call Ballantrae under the dome. We're 12 minutes away from Stouffville, 12 minutes away from Aurora, Mount Albert, and Uxbridge. We're actually in the middle of nowhere. So, but we've got life. Life is it's the number one life in York region, as I call it. It's the safest community in the GTA, and one of the most attractive and appealing communities in all of Southern Ontario.
It's stunning. I'm so blessed every day to drive through Musselman's on my way up north. Such a beautiful little lake. Now, you also mentioned that you border Durham 30, the road that is now under construction for its very own roundabout, which is so controversial. How do you stand on the roundabout on Durham 30?
Well, the roundabout's not in my area.
Okay.
But I must say that I'm a big supporter of roundabouts. Mm-hmm. What it does is it blends traffic without traffic chaos. As long as people, there has to be an understanding here for those who have never been faced with a roundabout situation. There's a learning curve here, and it's a short learning curve. And people have to understand the yielding factor when it comes to a roundabout. And what it does is it allows us to have continuous traffic, continuous flow of traffic, without backups for lights and congestion and pedestrian backup as well. So it keeps a nice flow of traffic going. It's a safe means of slowing down traffic, and it's a great blending of traffic from four different corners.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, so I apologize for that one. However, thank you for your input. Now, why did you want to be councillor in the ward? Now, and you've had so many experiences serving on community boards, residents associations such as the Musselman's Lake Residents Associations. How did you make the transition? And tell us a little bit about the experiences that guided you towards this path.
Well, I was a police officer with the City of Toronto for 32 and a half years. When we faced the election in 2003, I was a detective sergeant with in the investigative branch in Toronto. And when I got elected, we were faced with a situation, whether I would continue with my career in the police department and or follow through with this career here. And I chose to follow through with a political career, understanding that basically it was a continuation of what I had been doing for 32 and a half years in the City of Toronto. My focus in Toronto as an administrative leader was basically to focus on the community, to make sure that the community was being served, their concerns were being addressed, and that we were very forthcoming, proactive in our endeavors to service them. We had to identify the needs, we had to communicate with the public, and we had to make sure that we addressed their concerns in fast fashion. And what I found was that when you have the ability as a leader in the police services board, you can sort of move into action a lot faster than you can in the political world. Anyways, that background led me into politics, and I found that what we needed in the Ballantrae WardTwo Musselman's Lake area was a leadership fashion that would identify the concerns that we needed in Ballantrae. At the time that I ran for Ward 2, the population in Stouffville was 24,000. There was a split of 50%. There was 12,000 people in the urban area, and there's 12,000 people in the rural area. And what I felt was there wasn't a strong enough representation from the rural area. The voice wasn't being heard. Our concerns weren't being addressed. And the majority of the tax income for the town was based in the rural area, in the executive exclusive built-out areas. And I felt that there was a need for the town to listen and to direct more funding and more effort to those residents who deserved attention. When you're paying the bill as they are and they're receiving very limited services, you've got to ensure that those services are efficient and they're effective, and making sure that if and when there are repairs and services needed up there, that you can do it and do it as fast as you can. You will see over the years that the majority of dollars now are being more focused in the downtown area with the increased growth that we have. But we have seen over the last 10 years of my presence in Ward 2 a significant increase in investment by the town into our infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.